Welcome to Wednesday Live. Welcome to Homebuilt Workshop. I am your host, Jeff of Homebuilt Workshop. You guys know that. Just trying to be a little bit goofy here. We're a little out of adjustment here. What's going on? Anyway, what are you guys up to this fine Wednesday? Let's just go with that because it's morning here. It might not be morning where you guys are, but I hope whatever time of day it is where you are, hope you guys are all doing awesome. Welcome to the shop. We are here for about an hour or so. Have a good time talking about shop stuff and projects and whatever we end up talking about. It's always fun. And man, what a difference a week makes. Last week, if you were in the live, man, it was freezing. It was like 5 below zero or something. I'm bundled up in like an ice cube. Today, it's like 55 degrees outside right now. It's unreal. It's crazy. But I'm glad because, well, it's a lot better to work when I'm not freezing in the cold. And we got some projects to get to today, and to help move along this acoustic guitar build that I've decided to undertake with the help of many of you guys and encouragement. So looking forward to get started on that. And yeah, as soon as we're done here, that's what I'm going to be jumping into. The first thing that I'm going to make today will probably be a shooting board that I can use to joint the sides of the acoustic top and back. And that's probably going to be the first step. But I've got the molds done. If you saw the video last week that came out over the weekend, the mold is complete, I believe, for now. And next up is going to be a shooting board and a small jig to clamp up the top and the back plates as I glue them up. So that's what I got working on. Just getting geared up to get really into this acoustic guitar project. Really just making the jigs and different fixtures and things. I spent a couple hours day before yesterday, getting, I think I sharpened every single one of those hand planes. Well, I didn't do this one. That one was already pretty good, but I sharpened this one and all of them. And yeah, got them cutting pretty well. Probably could, I don't know, we'll see where we end up. I might be able to get a little sharper. But I got them, they're all cutting pretty well, and we'll see how they work. But until I get a shooting board made, I am not set up to use those yet. So that's my next project when we're done here. But right now, what I want to know, what are you guys working on? What's on your workbench? So what's on the workbench segment? I need like some little intro music or something for that. Thomas is here, watch and learn. He says, good morning, Jeff. Good morning, my friend. How are you this fine Wednesday morning? I know it's Wednesday morning where you are. Hope you're doing well. Not sure if you caught it, but as soon as we're done here, I'm going to be making a shooting board so that I can shoot the seam, the joint between for the top plates. So I have a sort of a janky shooting board. Kind of. It's not really set up for hand planes. It's set up for more sanding. But I'm going to build one that's specifically designated. It's going to work with my good old trusty number 5s up there. Actually, it'll work with any of them, really. But I need one that will accommodate the plane. And the one that I have now is currently, it won't work for that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. We're moving along with the jigs and fixtures. And I'm getting anxious to start doing something on the rest of the pieces. What's on your workbench this morning? Coffee, of course, even though it's not freezing cold out like last week. Gotta have some nice coffee. Yeah, that's tasty stuff right there. Neptunes is here. Neptunes, what's up, buddy? Neptune says hello all, and hello to you as well. What are you up to this fine Wednesday? How are things going down there, down your way? Are you guys as warm as well? Man, remember last week? It was like 5 below here, and today it's 55. And it's going to be like, I don't know, in the 60s today. Which I will take it. Patty's here. Patty says, aye, Jeff. How's it going? Think I'll join you in a coffee. Cheers, my friend. Here's to you. Have a coffee. Good stuff. Patty, how are things going over your way? You still busy as ever? I hope so. Unless you don't want to be busy. Watch and Learn says, oh, good morning, Neptunes. What are you guys doing? Man, that's good. I almost don't know what to think because I don't even have the heat on in here right now, and it's like super quiet. So I feel like I'm shouting at you, but there's like silence. There's never silence this time of year. It seems like I always have the heat on, but I'll take it. I'm not complaining. Neptune says, yeah, the temp is up again. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we're like 55 right now. And yeah, supposed to be in the 60s. It's crazy. I'll take it. Sent Packin'! What's going on? Sent Packin' says, good morning, folks. What's going on? Sent Packin', you are knocking out the workshop there. I love seeing your progress. And you're really making some headway there. That's awesome. Watch and Learn says 85 degrees and loving it. Woo, man. Yeah, I remember the only time that I have ever been down in that part of the country was late, I don't know, 2007-ish. It's been a while. And I think it was April we were down there. My band at the time was playing a show down there in Tempe, I think it was. And it was like 90-something degrees in April. It was crazy. Neptune says, I'm waiting on my wife at the doctor. What a great way to spend the time at the doctor by joining in on the live stream. So nice. And Harry Dude's here. Harry Dude says, what's up? Greetings all. Harry Dude, welcome. How's it going? Hope you were doing well. Enjoying your summertime. Although it sort of feels like summer here today compared to last week. Neptune says 75 here in Texas. Nice. 75 I think that's like the perfect temperature. You can, dress for the season, but it's not too hot. 75, 80 degrees, I'm happy. Now Patty says, really busy. Pricing work after the storms for neighbors, and spring field work is waiting to begin. Oh yes. Managed to get some interesting boards out of the ash and oak we milled. I saw those pictures you posted. And yeah, that looks like some nice stuff. That's awesome. Yes, the field work is getting close. This was always a fun time of the year for me when I worked at the farm, and just getting preparation, getting everything in order, doing any of the repairs and things that needed to be done on the equipment, and just getting ready. There's a certain excitement, maybe, I don't know if that's the right word or not, but a certain excitement that builds with this time of year. I know a lot of my friends back in Pennsylvania, well, and the whole Northeast area, New England, and that. This time of year is big for maple syrup, and the same kind of thing. As you're making all your preparations for that weather to get to that right spot, and yeah. Also, I do want to wish all of my friends back that way that do syrup. I hope you guys have a great season, and I'm gonna need to stock up next time I get back that way. Buddy's here. Buddy, good morning. Buddy says, good morning, folks. Buddy, how are you? How are things up your way? Did you guys get that? Were you like freezing cold last week this time? Man, it was brutal here. Hopefully you're much warmer now. Harry Dude says, still warm here and very humid. Patty says, anticipation, possibly. Yes, anticipation. Yep, as you begin to get into all of the spring work. Yes, anticipation, that's the exact word. Yep. That's cool. last week was a little bit slow here last week since we talked last, due to the cold temperatures. Really, was able to finish doing some inside work and just getting caught up on some computer stuff, taxes, all that nonsense. Got my taxes done. They're all done and filed, so I'm happy to have that behind us. Those of you that have to deal with those sorts of things, you know the the fun of the spring of the beginning of a new year. You got to do all those tax things. I am thankful though that I don't do them myself. It's too hard. Thankful I have a really awesome CPA that helps out with that, so I'm glad to have that done. And did a little bit of work on the website over the last few days, up until the weekend, I guess, when it started to get warmer. I got some new 3D printed bits listed up on there. My radius blocks are now listed on the website by popular demand. So if you want to check them out, head on over to the website and click the little shop store link. But yeah, then now that it's nice, we are back on the guitar. And I'm working on, it's kind of makes the camera weird stuff. I'm working on a full-size template to help me lay out the brace locations and stuff. This is just rough cut out. I've got to fine-tune everything to the line, and it's just on a piece of clear acrylic. Yeah, I'm just in jig and fixture mode right now. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing making a shooting board next, which will come in. I'm building it specifically for this acoustic guitar build, but I know it will be a very handy thing to have for other projects in the future. So I'm going to take the time and make one of those probably as soon as we're done here. Get that knocked out today, and we'll just do a quick, simple video on that for probably this weekend if I can get it edited. Senpakin says, it won't stop raining here. They're calling it an atmospheric river? Atmospheric river? Interesting. Senpakin says, oh, you can call me Rick. Right on, Rick. I just try to go with, the name that it shows me. But hey, if you guys are okay, you want me to call you something different, I will do my best. You just let me know. Buddy says, doing good. Yes, it was below zero and had to work. Crazy rich people want their landscaping done before spring. How are you supposed to do landscaping when it's like 5, 10, 20 below, whatever it is? Man, that's a rough one. But thankfully that cold spell is past us, and now it feels like spring for a couple days. Sorry you had to work in that. Right on. Let's see. Neptune says, nothing wrong with fixtures, still fun to make. They are, actually, and really for this project that I'm going to be getting into, I really need all these things before I can move on and actually start doing actual work on the guitar itself. I do the same thing with an electric guitar. I spend a fair bit of time getting my templates ready, and as nice as I can make them, because I know I'm going to use them again and again and again. So it's worth taking the time to put into making the fixtures and getting everything ready to go. What am I trying to say? Basically, it's worth you have to do the work ahead of time, the preparation work. There you go. You have to do the preparation work before you can get in, and if you do it right, you're good. You don't ever have to make those again, at least not for quite some time. Yeah, plus, who doesn't love, some shop fixtures? And, you know what I'm saying? Jigs, things like a shooting board or stuff. I'm making this to be used for this guitar build, but it's a project that I'm going to be able to use for who knows how many other projects. For there's lots of different uses, but you gotta build it. So once it's built, it's done, and we can move on. Senpakin says, thanks for the props. Love setting up my shop. Started opening boxes with guitar parts and getting them in their place. Nice. do you have like some sort of a bins or something that you categorize your parts on? Because that's kind of what I do. I have these metal cabinets, all these little drawers. They were originally they're for, I don't know, just a small parts cabinets, and I have a couple of those that I have labeled with all different guitar parts and bolts and hardware, and I have like a whole slew of them, and it makes a big difference trying to keep everything organized. But what works for you? How do you keep everything organized? Oh, Rick says, yeah, exactly. Gotcha. Neptune says, well, I have to drive now. I'll be listening still. Don't watch and drive. That sounds dangerous. Drive safe. Right on. Man, that is... I don't know why I look at it like it doesn't do you any good. You guys ever do that? Take a drink and you're like, hey, that's pretty good. Oh boy. So Rick, what is next for your giant French cleat wall? What are you working on for that? And I want to know what is on your guys' workbench? What's on your bench? Brett, what sort of cool stuff do you have in your shop at the moment? Hopefully you have some piles of work. Man, I can't believe how quiet it is in here. Like I can almost whisper without the heat and everything running. It's nice. Man, I can't wait till spring. All right, let's see what else have I got over here that I can show you guys. Let's see here. Rick says, did a tape machine and spring clamp rack. Nice, a tape machine. That is, I have that something like that, tape dispenser or something or other, written down as a project that I wanted to do. But I got a little. I found a tape dispenser that I really like, and it's put off the whole project of me making them. And I'm kind of sad to say that, honestly, because have you guys ever tried that red tape dispenser that Stuart McDonald sells? And I was hesitant to say him, but that's okay. I have one of those, and it's great. It really is. And I hate to admit that, but I got one because I needed one for like binding tape or something. And I like it so much that I almost don't want to make my own now. Is that sad? Kind of makes me sad. You guys ever do that? Have a project where you want to make something, but you find one that does everything that the one you make, or the one that you wanted to make, does, so now you don't want to make one? Rick says, I'll be putting up photos on my Facebook page. Right on. I will keep an eye out. More template bits. One of them is, well, you can't even see it. Come on. Come on, light. There you go. I've cut out the patterns for like the bridge and as well as the headstock. And I'm going to play around with different designs because I can't use that design just because it's not my favorite. Just that plain design. So I'm going to modify it a little bit. And there's a couple things I want to pick your guys' brain. Those of you that make, repair, build, have anything to do with guitars. You guys ever noticed, I'm sure you have, right? How on a guitar with a headstock like this, man, I wish that would show. Your center strings, right, in order to get over here, they have to go at a pretty steep angle to the side, and sometimes they can even hit these tuners here. I don't like that. Yes, it's, kind of a thing that's been around for who knows how many years, but I want to play around with some different designs, and I'm probably going to be 3D printing some parts for it, or at least some templates, some samples, where these come in instead of taper out. I want them to, I'm not quite sure yet, but sort of taper in. I'm sorry you can't really see that great, but if you know what I mean, because I want to avoid these upper strings from hitting these. I saw somebody not long ago, I've been watching a lot of videos on the building process and stuff, and I saw somebody that had an acoustic guitar with a headstock where the strings actually, every single one of them was straight. Like it came off of the nut and it went straight to the tuner. So everything was staggered perfectly, so there was no angle. And I thought that was really cool. Now, I'm not going to copy that one and try to achieve that exact same thing, but that's what kind of got me thinking about changing this around. Plus, I need to do something up here, some sort of a cutout, scoopy something or other, so that I can brand in the Haley Guitars logo. But that's something I'm going to be playing with. I've got this file opened up right now in Fusion 360, not sponsored, and I'm just gonna draw it in there, and I'll make it parametric so that I can play around with different angles and shapes and dimensions and stuff. So that's kind of, the evening project. Rick says mine holds 6 to 8 rolls of different tapes. Now, see, now that would be cool, because there's so many different tapes that we use, and a big one would be kind of cool. And maybe that's the reason I should still make my own, so that I can make it hold a whole boatload. Technical term, boatload. I gotta consider that. That's awesome. Hair Dude says, finally got my dust collection system happening. Plumbed it into the house ducted system with a cabled remote system for my router table and table saw. Interesting. So you tied it into, the house ducted. I was thinking your house system or something, but I got you. Nice. That's something that I kind of would like to do a little bit better this year, and I'm not sure how I want to do it. Currently, I have a small wall mount dust collector, a small one. It's kind of one of those Rockler kind of deals, and I use it for my my drum sander, and it does okay for that. But it's in a spot where I can't really utilize it for maybe the table saw or the bandsaw. So I was thinking, over here, I have, like right next to my saw, I have a small shop. Well, it's a, what is it, 10 gallon or 50? I don't know what those are. A regular sized shop vac, but it's hard to get into. So I keep thinking of how I'm going to rearrange, or what I'm going to rearrange, so that I can use it a little bit better. But I keep thinking about maybe getting another one of those wall mount deals, and just using that for the bandsaw, and maybe the table saw. It'd be kind of nice to have something on the table saw. But yeah, dust collection is tough. So that's awesome that you got it all tied up or tied in and working and everything. And the remote, man, that would be awesome to just go boop and it turns on right while you're at the tool. Yeah. Harry Dude says, I've seen the roller bearings to divert the string travel on acoustics and 3 a side guitar. I have 2. There's a thing, what's that thing called? The string butler, I think. And it's kind of strange looking, I think. But I don't know if that's the one in particular that you're thinking of. But yeah, it like brings the string up and then lets it go over. I'm just not crazy about the way it looks. I don't know. What do you think? If that's the thing you're thinking of. I've never used one though. It looks, I like the idea, because, it helps direct that string pull off the nut right where it needs to go. And that's why I want to redesign, or, not redesign, I guess is not the right word, but design my own headstock, because there's just a couple things. That's the cool part, I guess, right? About building anything. Shop fixtures, furniture, whatever it is you're making, instruments in this case. You can take what maybe you're not really crazy about, not a fan of, and make it so you are. And that is the cool part. That's part of the customization process. We can do it however we want, because we're building it and it's ours, right? And that is the cool thing about making anything, I think. If you don't like the current look of something, you redesign it and you make it your own, and you make it how you want it to be. And yeah, to me, that's one of the joys of making absolutely anything. I don't care if it's a simple pencil holder or a guitar, kitchen, cabinetry, any of that stuff. You make it how you want it and how you want it to be. It's way cool. Harry Dude says, String Butler sounds familiar. Maybe a headstock like a Gibson Flying V Arrowhead style. I've got some ideas. I don't want to throw them out there yet because, well, I mean, I'm not there yet. But I've got some ideas on kind of how I want it to look, I think. But we'll see. We'll see what we come up with. I think I know what I want to do, sort of. How's that for unclear? Harry Dude says, enough wood on the head to make a 6 in line. I've never seen a 6 in line acoustic. I'm sure somebody's had to have made one. I'm staring at the pattern. There might be. Do I have a template? There's got to be a template I can grab real quick without like leaving you guys hanging for a while. Does that have tuner holes in it? Hang on. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. Talk amongst yourselves. There's got to be one here someplace. Sorry, guys. I'm not leaving you. I can't find one. I know there's one over there, but I can't quite get to it without kicking over the camera. Brett, there might be. To be completely honest with you, I'm just kind of looking at this. I wonder what that would look like. Man. That's an idea right there that I kind of like. I'm going to have to look that up. Somebody had to have made one. I'm sure there are. I just don't know how it looks. I got to check it out. Harry Dude says, Fender did some 6 inline acoustic Strat style headstock. You're right. I remember that now. What was that? Telesonic, Acoustaphonic, super melodic. I know what you're talking about. Six in line acoustic headstock. All right, let's see here. We're going to do this together. This is the joy of live TV, guys. Let's see. 6 in line acoustic guitar. That's not 6 in line. Not line 6. Oh boy. Well, it's not coming up with pictures exactly. It's a bunch of articles. I'm gonna leave that tab open, and I'm gonna check that out later. But yeah, Brett, thanks for that, because that kind of got the gears rolling. I wonder what it would look like if I used my my regular electric 6-string headstock. That would tie the whole thing together, right, with my other builds. I don't know. I gotta check that. I gotta check into that. Rick says, I smell smoke and hear the wheels turning. Yeah, they're... Speaking of smoke, yesterday, so if you guys remember, I've mentioned a time or two that I've been playing around with, for heat in here, I've been experimenting with one of those diesel heaters, like what would be found in a semi or like those camper vans or something like that. And I don't know why, but yesterday I was trying to get the heat going in the morning, and I had reconfigured like the fuel line and stuff, and got it running into a different little tank. I don't know what the deal was on that thing, but it took forever to light, and it has a glow plug in there, kind of like a diesel engine, and it wouldn't fire constantly, and all of a sudden smoke, not like electrical melting smoke, but just like diesel smoke started pouring out of the thing. And it's vented to the outside. It has an exhaust pipe that goes to the outside. But I don't know if the fan wasn't pushing it out. I don't know what was going on, but it like filled the entire shop with smoke. Now it doesn't take a whole lot of smoke to do that because it's not a big space, but I had to open the doors, had to open the windows. I don't, if you guys ever used one of those diesel heaters and you know why it might do that, let me know. I eventually, after filling the whole place with smoke, it finally, like, I don't know, cleared itself out and fired up. But it was very strange and yeah, kind of smelly. It was weird. It was weird. I don't know why it did that. It seemed to run fine after that, but yeah, it took about 10 minutes to get all that cleared out. I don't know if somehow it's almost like it got flooded. I don't know how that could happen, but yeah, I'm not an expert on those things yet, but yeah, it was very weird and kind of smelly in here for a little while. I'm scrolling. All right. So that's kind of what I got in the works right now. For after we're done here, I'm hoping I can. The shooting board, I'm not anticipating taking all that long, and I hopefully will be able to get that done today and get it edited tomorrow, so you guys can check it out this weekend. That's my plan, because right now I'm a little bit behind on projects, mainly because, well, that cold last week. We'll get caught up. I'm not worried. I guess there's like, I don't know, a cat or something out there. Mike's here. Mike says slept in. Good morning. Good morning, Mike. I hope you had a nice sleep. Welcome to Homebuilt Workshop. Mike, what are you up to this fine Wednesday? What's on your workbench? What sort of projects and plans? Hopefully coffee is one of them. Especially since you just woke up. You gotta have coffee, right? Right on, Mike. Welcome. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, I did discover one thing on my molds. So I'm gonna see if I can pick this up and not drop it. They're kind of heavy. A lot heavier than I suspected they were going to be. So if you guys saw the video, you'll see I put a couple latches on here. These latches, they're not strong enough. I'm going to have to put something stronger on there. If I crank these down, not that way. I don't know yet how much pressure I'm going to have to put on these. It will actually separate these. You can see. Can you see that gap in there? I don't know if you can see. Oh, there. I'm trying to get it where you. There you go. You can see light through it. I got to get some stronger latches to help hold those together because I don't think that's good. So that is already one change that I know I'm going to have to make to those things. And I wasn't sure when I put those together. I thought that latch would be sufficient, but turns out it's not. So that's going to be just a quick modification. Now, probably what I'm going to have to do is drill those holes where I screwed everything in and glue in some dowels probably to kind of plug the holes. But got to do that probably before I start clamping anything in there. So I already know that I'm going to have to modify stuff. And I'm trying to keep that in my head for this whole project. Like, I've said, a few times, like, I don't know what I don't know. So until I actually get in there, I don't know how things are going to work. So that's already the first modification, just to the strength of the latches. Rick says, time to crawl out of bed. Must have coffee. Yes, you must. Enjoy your coffee, my friend. Rick says, see you all later. Right on, man. get some coffee, get out there in the shop and make some sawdust. Mike says, 2 more windows need recasing. Finished 3 already. Have an alder telly body I want to finish making. Been sitting on the bench for too long. I'm with you on the alder body. I have an alder body blank right now. It's just square. That I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with yet, and I'm not sure yet. But yeah, it's just the blank's been sitting here for probably maybe a year even, at least 8 months, and until I find exactly how I want to proceed with it. Harry Dude says big bolts through the end tabs. Thought about that, and was partly a part of my consideration when I was making it. I considered doing that, and I still could, I guess, put some bolts through there. A little bit trickier to pull apart, but I don't think there's any reason that you'd have to be able to, just be in a hurry, right, and just unclip a couple things. I have seen several molds like that built with bolts, and I might try a different set of latches that I have. See if they work. I've got some pretty heavy duty ones. They're kind of like the ones on, let's see, are you familiar, if you're familiar with I think it's like a Pelican case, right? So it has the little thing that swings up, and then you twist the handle and it draws it down. I have a set of those that I might put on there and see how that works. If it turns out to maybe those aren't even enough, then I probably will just drill a hole. There's room on the tabs. I drill a hole. Maybe I could even put a knob on there to tighten down. There might be enough room, so I could just put it through like a carriage head or something, and then put a knob on there. Might end up going that route. I kind of might want to try the other little twisty kind of Pelican style latch. I don't know what they're called, honestly, but and see how those work. But yeah, Brett, that the bolts through there would work really well. Senpakin says, ciao. Ciao, Rick. Have a good one, man. Annie's here. Annie says, hey there. What's up, Annie? Mike says, oh, and my morning drink is Coke. Mine's got to be coffee. I don't drink really any soda, ever. Maybe one a year, if that. Maybe 1 or 2 a year. And I used to drink so much, but now it's really the only thing I drink for the most part is coffee and water. But hey, whatever gets you rolling in the morning, coffee, Coke, orange juice, whatever. Cheers. Here dude says, slot one side of the tab and have the bolt swing out the wing nut. Ooh. Brett, that's a good idea. How would you make it swing? With like an eye? Like an eye bolt? With a that's an interesting idea. But that would be really cool. Then you could, you loosen it and quickly pop it open. Some more food for thought. Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea. I considered, I'm gonna just pull these spreaders out of there so I can pick this up. I did consider, I don't even know how to hold this. I did consider recessing something, maybe a bolt or something down in here. I never really fully worked out that whole idea, though. I just decided to try these latches. But I like that. You just maybe a little mortise of some sort here. Yeah, there's tons of ways to do it, right? I've seen tons of designs, tons of different ways to basically achieve the same results. All we're trying to do is to keep these together securely, whether you use clamps or latches, those things, or yeah, the bolt. I think Mike said for the end clamp, why not build a hardwood cover that fits over, then clamp. Once the clamps have been released, you can get the wood off. Another way I've seen is similar to that, with just, you know, like a hardwood plate that just attaches with some screws. Really, I don't feel like there's any particular way you have to do it. Really, the goal is just to hold those together so they're solid. And right now, currently, this little weak clamp is not enough. So we gotta do something different. But yeah, just a piece of wood that you screwed in there, I mean, would be sufficient, really, to accomplish the task. There's just so many ways. And really, whatever works for you. Mike says, I worry about the MDF being weak in the bolt. I mean, it's possible, right? You wouldn't want to drill, you know, too close up to the end. I got a little glue to knock off of there, but you wouldn't want to drill too close to the top because, yeah, it would totally make it weak. If you drill down too far, you wouldn't have room to get a nut or a knob or anything on there. I think if I went the bolt route, I should have made these a little taller, which I guess I could glue on some bolts, right? Or glue on some blocks. That's the fun part. You can modify it. You know, the inside dimension is what we're going to be using ultimately. The rest is just holds it together. Yeah, so many ways. And again, that goes back to one of the, you know, the cool part about making your own stuff, right? You can do it. You can do it however, whatever way works for you. There are some things that are quote unquote traditional, and you know, well, this is how the ancient, you know, so and so's did it. But if you can do the exact same. If you can get the exact same results doing it a different way that works maybe better, maybe easier, maybe faster for you, then why not? Harry Dude says 2 big holes, 1 on each side, F-clamp them together. I did use some clamps. When I was working on it, I clamped the tabs together and it actually worked quite well. So yes, a couple holes. If I was going to do that, I maybe should have made it wider. But yeah, a couple holes right there, that would work well too. And I don't know yet because I haven't got there. The only thing I can think of, the only issue, and this is probably part of my problem, if I dare say it, is I always I try to think ahead way too much, I think. So if you had holes drilled in here and then you've got a clamp sticking up, is that clamp going to be in the way of your work later, right? Once you have the sides clamped in there, is the clamp going to be in your way? Or do you put the holes on the end? I don't know. And that is part of this being a new process for me. I don't know. And I'm totally okay saying that to you and everybody, that this is a learning process for me, and one that I'm looking forward to learning all of that stuff. There's a chance that, I don't know, I might have to remake these for some reason. I don't know, until I get in there and start finding out how the process works in more detail. And yeah, I don't have a problem telling you guys and everyone else on the interwebs that when it comes to this, I don't know yet. But we're gonna work through it, and you guys are gonna get to follow along and see how all of this works when it gets completed. I believe that all of us, right, no matter how good we are at our craft, whether it's building instruments, furniture making, whatever it is, there's always things that we can learn, right? Like this, like, I've done quite a few electric guitars, and I feel very comfortable with my process for getting the results that I want. But this is totally different. Yes, it's a guitar, but I got a lot to learn on that. And I think we all, I don't know how I want to say that. I think we all have things like that. I believe fully that there are different things. Maybe there's a process that you don't do all the time, and we have room for improvement. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. And things that we can learn for whatever that is. And I don't think that any of us should be afraid to say, you know what, I don't really know yet, but I'm going to learn. And that's where I'm at on this. It's a learning process. I fully know that's why I haven't done it yet. That's why I haven't decided to jump in, because I know there's so many things that I have not done before. Carving braces, making the bridge, all of that stuff to building the box of this acoustic guitar, I haven't done. Yes, it's woodworking. I know how to cut wood. I know how to shape wood. But that's an area where I know that I have things to learn. And, I don't think that we should be worried, or not ashamed. I don't want to say ashamed. But don't be afraid to say, I don't know, but I'm going to learn. That's my project. That's this acoustic project for me. Once you go through one or two, then I can't say that, right? Because I've done it. I've already learned, or at least experienced some of those processes in every build after that, which I can already see that, I haven't even started on this one, but I can already see a second one. But don't be afraid to tackle some new and unknown things yet, because once you tackle it, it's not going to be unknown anymore. Get Enlightened says, I'm looking forward to your acoustic build. Definitely would like to build an acoustic down the line. Right on. Well, thank you. And, like I was just saying, I've kind of been interested in building an acoustic for quite a while, but I felt like there was too many things that I needed to learn yet, and really was just kind of overwhelming, honestly, when I really start looking at it. And really, if you look at this, if you look at this plan, especially if you look at the whole sheet, it's a 24 by 36 page or something like that. It is packed with shapes and lines and dimensions and text. And you start looking at it and it's like, holy crap, I don't even know where to start. And, but you just start, taking it out piece by piece, section by section, learning it bit by bit. And like I said, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm starting at the beginning, getting my jigs done, fixtures, templates, all of that stuff. And while I study the plan and kind of start to figure it out, but I would encourage you, if you're wanting to get into building one, go for it. Give it a shot. Learn what you need to know, get the tools, that you need to get, and, slowly work into it. When you look at the plan, or if you get a set of plans, or maybe you have a set of plans, I don't know. Don't be afraid to tackle it, and I encourage you to do that, because once you get it done, I can't wait to hear what this thing sounds like. Even the first strum, I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know I'm potentially going to screw something up, but just getting it completed and is going to be awesome, and you can do it. If you want to jump in there, get enlightened, go for it, and follow along, because it's going to be fun. Again, I've said it a few times. It's not something that I'm going to do consistently until it's done. Because there's a lot of things that I need to learn and practice and try to get down before I actually attack, the final product. I don't know how many bridges I'm going to have to make before I get one that I like. So right now I'm getting the jigs done, because I know that's what that's what I need to do before I can move on. So I'm tackling these and I'm trying to get these done right away. But once I have the jigs done, I think it's going to be more strung out. So there's probably going to be a few videos right now where I'm getting these done, but then I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna learn and figure out what I need to do after that. But you can do it. Mike says the video by Beamer on YouTube goes through several builds, and I believe you're right. It would be in the way. Oh, the clamp. Rick's back. Rick says must be overwhelming. Got my coffee. I mean, if you just look at it from a newbie perspective, which is what I am at this, and I fold out this entire plan, and it's just covered with lines and dimensions and shapes, and I'm just like, whoa. But once you start breaking it down, you know, and you start figuring out, okay, I got the mold. This is, you know, this line is showing me this line's showing me that, and it's not that bad, but it is information overload at first, for sure. Watch and Learn says, hope this build doesn't interfere with the birdhouse build. Nah, it won't. So what he's talking about is, we were talking, was it a week ago? 2 weeks ago, something like that, about doing something collectively, like as a group, you know, on the channel. Doing some sort of project that we could all just build something. And what came up was like a birdhouse or a bird feeder, right? And I think we're gonna try to do this maybe in April, May ish. Is just do a build like that, not a build off, not a contest, not a mine's better than yours or anything, but some sort of a project that we can just put out there for the month. You know, maybe I'll do one as an announcement or something, and I don't know exactly how we're gonna work this, but some sort of an easy build that, you know, you can get your kids involved in, you can get your spouse or whatever, you know, just some sort of fairly simple project. And I think a birdhouse or a bird feeder would be cool because it's springtime, right? Birds are out looking for a place, and I think some sort of build like that. So be on the lookout for more information on that. It's not going to be any sort of official, really, you know, you don't have to pay to enter. You don't have to do any of that stuff, but just some sort of project. You know, we do it for the month. You know, you have the whole month to make it, whatever, because, you know, not everybody has a ton of time. And I just thought it'd be kind of fun. We can, you know, I can create maybe a page in the Facebook group or something, and we can all share our stuff there, or maybe the web page. I don't quite know yet. But what do you guys think? I know several of you have already been in on some of the lives where we talked about it, but I just think it would be fun, something we can all kind of do together. You know, you can make it fancy, you can make it simple, you can make it bright, and, you know, whatever it is, just a project, as long as it's, I don't know, a birdhouse or bird feeder or something. That's what we're thinking. And I think it'd be fun, and just kind of a cool little thing we can kind of do together. Mike says it's been on the bench for years. Sempackin says, practice makes perfect. I'm getting better just setting up my dado stack to do my French cleat holders. You know, that's something that I do not have. I do not have a dado stack. And there's been a few times where I kind of wished I had one. In fact, as in preparation for this shooting board, there's something I'm considering doing that would really work well with a dado blade, but I don't have one, so I just use a router. I probably use an edge guide maybe if I do this. But yeah, dado stack, kind of handy. One of these days, maybe. Rick says, oh yeah, the birdhouse. Yeah, because, you know, well, except Brett. He's not going to have, it's going to be fall. We're going into spring. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I say that a lot. Rick says, it was gifted to me. Nice. Dado stack as a gift. That's pretty awesome. Now, am I right in thinking that, like, like in Europe, is it illegal to have a dado stack for some reason? Seems like I heard that somewhere. Do you guys know what the deal is with that? Or in other countries anyway? Like, is North America the only place allowed to use those for some reason? Have you guys ever heard that? I don't know how that works. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not. I've actually never asked anybody, but now I have. Pretty cool. Right on, guys. If you hit that little, if you enjoy these lives, I don't know where it is on yours. Hit that little thumbs up button. If you're tuning in, I'd really appreciate it. Mike says, need to go. Take care and be safe. Right on, Mike. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Yeah, we're going to wrap this up here in 5 minutes or so anyway, and I got to get to making some cuts here. We got a shooting board to make. I got a sharpened hand plane up there, and we got to put it to work. Oh, let's see, this one. I have this little block plane. Hang on here. Neptune says, I think it's in England. Not sure, though. Yeah, but you've heard, you know what I'm talking about, right? There's some areas where I've heard that you're not allowed to have them. You know, I don't know. This little block plane, this is a Stanley 220. It's a 220 block plane. It is fairly lightweight. I don't know. I don't think it's cast. It feels, it feels kind of thin, but I sharpened every single one of those planes the other day. I spent, like the afternoon just sharpening them all up. This little thing, I was impressed with, for being super lightweight, how well this sharpened and now takes a shaving. It was pretty cool. I have a different block plane up there, and it's much heavier. And but this little guy, this thing works really, really nice. I probably need to clean it up a little bit more on the bottom. But I was totally happy with the way this little thing sharpened up. Do you guys have a favorite block plane? What sort of one is your favorite? I don't use planes a ton, and I feel like the ones that I have will do me, will serve me well for quite a while with most everything I need to use. But if there's something that, I can find that might work better, I kind of got an eye out. But let me know if you guys have a block plane that you guys really like. This one, especially after I sharpened it, I've used it a few times before, but it wasn't super sharp. Now, man, it works really nice. I probably will cut my finger off doing this. I don't know if I can even make this thing work or not. Yeah. I'm not going to even bother. Let's see. Rick says, you cannot legally sell a saw in Europe, which can take a dado set, as they can only be used for non-through cuts, which are commercially, at least, prohibited. For non-through cuts. Why would you use a dado stack to do a through cut? Interesting. He says that's what the Googles say. Neptune says, have to drive again. Everyone have a great day. You too, Neptunes. Drive safe. Senpakin says, bye, Neptunes. Harry Dude says, I've never had much luck in sharpening and setting up planes. A skill I need to practice. I am the same way. Mainly because I don't use them very often. And once in a while, I'll grab one to flatten a piece really quick, just to really as kind of a practice instead of using the jointer. But the other day, like I said, I went through all these. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I sharpened 5 of them, and definitely, I feel a little bit more comfortable after going through all of them at the same time. I'm not great at it either. The biggest thing for me when I'm planing is to not, I don't even know what you call it, to keep things square. Well, that's the hard part for me. and also making my cut so that it's even at the front. It's more the use of them as opposed to setting up. Yes, now setting up, you got to, there's certain things you got to get right. But what I'm finding is the better you sharpen your blade, it seems to make the setup a lot easier, if that makes any sense. I have this guy. This is a Stanley number 5. I have 2 number 5s. That one has that one. That one has a corrugated sole. This one has the flat. Now, unfortunately, at some point, someone had drilled a hole in this, I believe. I don't think they came with that. That was not me. But where was I going with this? I mean, there is quite a bit to the setup on there. But I think mainly the sharpening is really the bigger thing. The sharper you can get it, the better you get that edge. It almost makes it easier to set up. And that's what I was finding when I was going through these. It is definitely a skill that I too feel I need more practice at. Setting it up and the operation to be able to keep an edge nice and square. Some guys can, grab the edge of a board, plane that sucker, and it is dead perfect. I am not that guy. I would much rather run it on my joiner, which I feel is easier and less error prone. Again, that's got to be set up right too. But yeah, hand planes are fun, but I think sharpening is a big thing, and it all takes practice. You're sharpening it. You got to have a system of some sort, and whether it's powered or manual. Mine is all manual. But yeah, it's getting them sharp, I think, makes a big difference in getting it set up well. My opinion. I'm not like, a hand tool purist. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't mind using a power tool at all. But I am for using the tool that fits the bill. And the main reason I went through all these was to get them sharp for the acoustic build. Thomas says, I love sharpening my chisels and planes. And I actually need a number 5. This is what I intend to use right now. This number 5 right here, I will use it for jointing the top and back plates. A lot of people suggest using a low angle jack plane, I believe. This is what I have. This is what I'm going to use for now. If I ever could find a low angle. But this is what I intend to use for the moment. And I do like it. Rick says you could do a live on setting up a plane. I know I could use some help there. I mean, I don't feel like the expert enough to. I mean, you could walk through the basics, I guess, but maybe. I mean, we might be able to cover that a little bit. Let's see. Oh, a message. What? I don't know what's going on there. What's going on there, Thomas? Another thing that is important is making sure that the bottom. No, this is not. I don't want to hit the blade. Making sure that the bottom is nice and flat. This isn't just a dedicated straight edge, but this one is. There's a little rock either here or it's in my ruler. I'd have to get the actual straight edge. You make sure they're flat. No, that's flat. Making sure it's flat to help so you don't get any weird dips and stuff like that. But I know that's quite important. And when I did sharpen this the other day, I did flatten it just a tiny bit. You can see there's a little. I guess you can't see. There's an area where it flattened. So I think it did have a little bit of a hump in there. And but yeah, they're ready to roll. put this back up there so I don't bang into it. This is the other block plane. This one works really nice. This is a Stanley number 65, and it's much heavier than that first block plane, and it does cut better than that one, I think. But this is a pretty nice little one too. I think that would be a low angle. I think. Let's compare. Yeah, so you can see that the blade is at a lower angle, yeah, hence the name, low angle, than this one. This one is up higher. So I think that's a low angle block plane. That's a regular angle block plane? I don't know. But this one is I like better. It's a little more sentimental. This one used to belong to my uncle, and there's always tools like this, that when it belonged to somebody, you know, a loved one or whatever, someone in your family, it got handed down. Those are the special ones, as far as I'm concerned. All right. Rick says I'm having trouble getting my chats out. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Sorry you're having trouble there. He says I need a holder for my couple of planes. Dude, that right there is about as easy as it gets. It's a piece of MDF with a couple strips in the middle. There's a little cleat, you can't really see it, but there's a cleat on the bottom that they sit in, right? You know, so the little block of wood, and they just rest on that, and it's at, I don't know, an angle, about like that. Just, you know, enough to keep them laying flat so they don't tip back. Tons of different ways you could do it. It would work really well on your French cleat wall. I've seen some guys, you've probably seen them, where they'll make them vertical, and it actually sits in, there's like a little lip at the top, right? So it goes in there, and then it sits nice and flat, and that lip keeps them from dropping back out of there. And you could super easy probably knock something together and get it up on your French cleat wall. So there's another fixture for you. Right on. Well, guys, I believe it is time that we wrap this up, and I got a shooting board to make. So, with that being said, I wanna say thank you for tuning in, taking some time out of your day, and hanging out here at Homebuilt Workshop. And hope you guys are all doing awesome. I hope you get a chance to get out into your workshops and make some cool stuff. I don't care what it is. Get out there, make something, have some fun, and enjoy yourself. Be safe, and you know, stay well, everything. I hope you guys all have an amazing week. Enjoy the nice weather, and if it's nice, and if it's not, I hope it gets nice. Anyway, guys, you guys all take care. Thanks again for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button before you leave, and have an awesome time. And like always, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time. And there we go again, every time. Try to hit the button.